fellow type 1s out there. Is my video working? Welcome. This is Dr. Jody. I'm going to share with you today my tips for how to not overtreat a low. Something I just did this morning that I'll tell you all about. Oh, the joys of being a type 1, right? Well, I've had type 1 for 40 years. Perhaps you're just finding me. If so, welcome. I'm so glad. Or maybe you've been following me since March. I just started coming on Facebook because I wanted to be a source of light and inspiration for all of us in these interesting COVID times. And thousands of you have found me. I'm so glad. And I wanted to share today about how to not overtreat a low. All right, so I should go get my decks. Well, it's not here right now. But here's what I did. I always tell people that when we treat lows, it's really about how much insulin is on board, right? The whole 15 grams of carb to treat a low is just, it doesn't work, right? Sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less. And even though I'm a huge fan of real healthy food, I do strongly believe in glucose tabs because many reasons. They don't go bad. They don't taste super delicious. It's hard to eat a whole bunch of them at once, which is what we want to do when we're low, right? We know exactly how many carbs we're getting, okay? So let me tell you what happened this morning. I always tell people not to have a big bottle of juice around, or don't wander into your fridge or wander into a grocery store when you're low, right? It's just too hard. We have all of these hormones telling us we need to eat, and we might only need one glucose tab, right? But how easy is it to stop? Not very. So what I did this morning is I completely broke my rule that I've talked about in these videos, and that is to go into the fridge and drink juice out of the bottle. So here's what happened. I always give myself a unit of insulin as soon as I wake up because my numbers tend to rise as soon as I wake up. But as maybe you've found with your body, that dawn phenomenon, or what's also called feet on the floor syndrome, this spike that can happen in the morning, is unpredictable. Some days it happens, some days it doesn't. Some days it happens a little bit, and sometimes it happens a lot, right? I talk about all of this in my online courses. I have an online course called How to Get Off the Blood Sugar Roller Coaster. I cover this thoroughly in that. And anyways, this morning I didn't need that one unit, which rarely happens because the majority of the time I do need extra insulin for my dawn phenomenon. But this morning I already had a perfect 80. When I woke up, I gave myself a unit expecting to go up, and I didn't. So of course I had a low. Well, I just had some friends visiting, and they left a bottle of orange juice in my fridge. So what do? I am low. I only have 1 unit of insulin on board. Okay, so that's not 2, 3, 4, 5 units, right? The more insulin you have on board, the more intense your low can be. Well, also depends on how much food is digesting, of course, right? Because you have multiple forces. You have the force of food digesting, bringing you up, and insulin bringing you down. But in this case, I only had 1 unit of insulin on board. So the max carbs I would have needed would have been about 15, I think, because 1 unit covers me about 15 carbs. However, I opened up the fridge, feeling that low. I drank my juice, gug, way more than 15 units. This is why I don't like juice. I wouldn't have done that if I followed my own rule and only ate, 2 or 3 glucose tabs and then stopped, because they're so easy to stop. They're so measurable. And then this is what happened. Here's a picture of my, so you can see here, right? I was nice and steady, nice and flat, and then boom. Not only did I fly up to 160, but see that? It's a double up arrow. It's not just 1 arrow, it's 2 arrows up. So that's how you can, see how fast you're flying high. So that's my tip for today. Glucose tabs, we all should have them. Even though they are not real food, they're full of colors and stuff. These are so helpful so we don't have this crazy roller coaster. And I'm here to say I'm human, right? I fall down the overcorrecting train myself. I've had it for 40 years. It happens. Okay, we have a lot of people saying hello today. Christiane says hello. Ashley, hello. Emma from the UK. KT says hey. I always love it when you guys chime in. I know most of you watch this on recording. I'd love for you to follow me. I'm just about to launch a membership program next week. I'm so excited. I've gotten so much motivation from all of you from doing these Facebook Lives. I've done over 100 of them now since March, since COVID began. And so I've decided I want to create a community for just us. It's going to be all about positive and education, right? I want you to know how to set your basal rate. I want you to know how to avoid lows when you sleep and when you exercise. I want you to know how to dose beyond just carb counting, right? I want you to have a community of people that are motivated together to get A1Cs below 6.5. I want a community of people that we can lift each other up because we're educated and supportive and we know what it's like to live with type 1 and we can be stronger together. So it's called the Type 1 Diabetes Crew. You'll be hearing about it next week. I'll have a sales page, a landing page to sign up. My goal is to make it super affordable. There's also a free version. So I'll tell more about it next week. So head over to my website, sign up for my free handout or my free videos, something like that. So I have your email. So you get the email notifications about the membership program. My website is drjodyn.com. You can also just Google Dr. Jody Diabetes anywhere in the world and I come up. And I will see you next week. Have a great weekend and Happy New Year. Bye for now.